Alright guys, welcome to another OutTheSaddle production. So today we're just going to cut straight into it. This is the descent from east to west down the Col du Tourmalet. The Tourmalet is the highest mountain pass in the Pyrenees. It peaks at just over 2,000 meters. It's about 2,115. I recently went on a cycling trip with my uni clubmates. I recently graduated, but I went off on that trip. So this is me descending. The kit is a GoPro Hero Session, just on a standard handlebar mount. As you can see, the road surface is quality because sometimes it gets a bit bumpy. With this mount, you can kind of tell, but even when I'm going fairly quickly, it seems to be looking quite smooth. But yeah, this is the descent. It's absolutely stunning. We were pretty lucky with the weather. First part of the week was a bit grim, but it picked up, and this was the last day's riding, so day 6, and this is me just going down the descent. I was in the front of the group. There was a lad behind me who actually ended up getting a double puncture down the descent. But I'll point that bit out later. But yeah, Col du Tourmalet. What an absolutely quality bit of tarmac. There's always a lot of activity at the top of these mountain passes. Because it's not just cyclists that like going up it. It's hikers, car drivers, motorcyclists, the lot really. But you can see down there, sort of on the left, you can see the road sort of squiggling down into the valley. And yeah, cars are always quite good. They sort of let you pass most of the time because they kind of appreciate that it's really difficult to cycle up these things really. It took me, crikey, I think it's about an hour and 35 or something, an hour and 30 to get up the Tourmalet from the other side, out of Saint-Marie de Campan, which was the classic village where the rider in the Tour de France was infamously disqualified for getting some help in mending his forks. So it kind of gives you an idea as to how the tour's changed recently, because I can't see any of the pro teams having to get off their bikes to fix their bikes. But yeah, times have changed and the tour come up here a lot. It's quality, absolutely quality. Look at that scenery, it's wonderful. Going down into Le Barrage, I believe. I probably absolutely butchered that pronunciation. I'm not particularly good with the French language. GCSE French was the pinnacle for me. But yeah, just cruising down here. To be honest, I'd say because of the hairpins and things, it's not a properly super fast descent. Most of the kilometres are at sort of 7 or 8%. There's a few at 9%. I think the last kilometre's at 10%. I think I ended up getting about 50 miles an hour with my top speed down here. But it's quality, because if you kind of from where I'm from in the UK, descents are only a few minutes or so. They're kind of over before you've really got into it. That was the gravel back there where I believe my mate double punctured. Shame. But this descent goes on for like 10 minutes or so. I think I stop it when we get to Le Garage or thereabouts. That's most of the descent done really. It's good to try and get your technique right and go around these sweeping corners. As you can see there, didn't really brake during that corner, which is good. You want to try and brake before the corner because you can rail it through a lot quicker. you can see the, I think are they snow things on the right hand side back there? I'm not sure. This could easily be a piste in the winter. Yeah, it's great. I think I had a slight headwind going on, so I don't think it was as fast as if I'd had a tailwind, because we actually went up the Tourmalet the other side on the same day, which was just absolute madness. The climb is actually even longer from that side. I think it's 18k as opposed to 16, which is pretty disgusting, to be perfectly honest. It took us even longer. But the tailwind was appreciated. I think it would have taken even longer had we had a headwind. So yeah, just cruising. Swinging it through, wide lines. This was a good one, this. I know I'm on the wrong side of the road there, but you can obviously see no cars were coming. So this is kind of a relatively fat section, I remember. But it does start to sort of drop again. There's a few really long, fairly steep stretches coming up. At this point here, it was probably about 5-6% maybe downhill. Yeah, absolutely stunning scenery. It's just, honestly, it's probably one of the best riding. In my opinion, actually, I think the cycling in the Pyrenees is arguably better than the Alps because it's more rural. In the Alps, I'd say there's more industry and slightly more skiing, so there's kind of more sort of cars kicking around. But in the Pyrenees, I think it's a bit more rural, so the roads are quieter, but the road surfaces are still great. I didn't really encounter too much gravel whilst I was out there. Yeah, I could have taken the hairpin a bit better. Sort of braked a little bit too late into that. But yeah, just good to sort of pick your line, hit the apex, and then. And yeah, again, livestock next to the road / on the road. That's certainly a common feature in the region. I think there was a famous Tour de France a few years ago. I think it might have been Alejandro Valverde descending the Tourmalet, or it definitely was a Pyrenean climb, and there was a cow in the road. He was like cruising, ragging it down the descent at like 90k an hour, and past this cow who was not moving. So that was interesting. So yeah, watch out for cows when you're descending. Yeah, you can see periodically there's sort of graffiti on the roads from where people have scribbled the names of tour riders just to like cheer them on. That's properly iconic in this region. Having said that, you do get that in Yorkshire with the Tour de Yorkshire. I mean, it's arguably as iconic. Not really. But yeah, cruising now. Good to cheer on the riders coming up, sort of giving an alley. Yeah, just approaching some vintage cars. I'm not that knowledgeable about cars. I don't know what that is. Is that like a Cobra or something? I have no idea. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, because it's such a popular stretch of road, like motorists like it as well. These weren't the only sort of vintage cars we saw on Mountain Passes during the trip. Just like nailed on the hairpin. That's right. getting more into the valley now. But yeah, still a lot of descending to go. I think you're still well over, I'm going to hazard a guess, about 1,400 metres at this point. Maybe 1,500. So it does go slightly, it's a meaty descent. Alright, so I've just flicked on the vid. So this is when we're just pulling out of Le Barrage. The town about 1,200 metres. It's probably about another 6k of descending down into Saint-Leveux, I believe. It's another French town, which is basically the bottom of the climb at about sort of 800 metres. So there's another sort of 400 metres of descending. Yeah, just sort of let some of the group catch on, and we're just sort of making our way through this town. So this is obviously a slower part of the descent. Yeah, nice little place. Yeah, it's pretty hot at this point. It's probably like mid-20s, I'd say. You can definitely feel the temperature increase as you descend, which is kind of weird because you would have thought there's a wind chill, but it's certainly a lot colder. Apparently, as a general rule of thumb, for every 100 metres you go up, the temperature decreases by 1 degree. So yeah, you can certainly feel it getting warmer as you descend, but there's some pretty big swooping corners now, which is good. That's my guy on 810 in the top right hand corner there. Apologies if that's annoying. I can see if I can. I would agree with you. It maybe looks a bit ridiculous, but anyway, it's what you get for a fly stone. So yeah, just cruising down here. You can tell it'd be a big drag coming up the other way. Sort of long stretches at sort of 7-8%. Big roads as well, so you feel like you're going slower. I'm getting dropped by this car, actually. Yeah, so this is good. I think at some point I get overtaken by the guy in the group, actually. We should make some good footage. Yeah, but for the meantime, just cruising behind this car. Cheeky bit of drafting. People say it's not safe, but I think it is really, because if you know what you're doing, you can stop in time, and most of the time the driver's clocked you as well. But yeah, I think I overtake the car at this point here, which is a bit sketch because there's a car coming. It's fine. No worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, so my legs are a bit cooked at this point of the trip. I didn't have many watts for the flat. I didn't have very many flat watts. I was saving all my watts for the uphill watts. So I was I'm not sure if this was worth it really. I was trying to gun it a bit, and this is when I think I get overtaken. There we go. Another guy in the club, big cadence. 32 on the back, dinner plates. Which is what I had actually. I had dinner plates as well. Cheeky noob disc as well. I think it was a high bike. But yeah, just pulling turns now. Pulling turns for the win. But yeah, this is nice. It's very nice. Smooth roads make life so much better. The UK's roads aren't particularly good in my opinion. There's like a few decent stretches of tarmac near where I'm from, near Bristol, but you quickly run out of them and then you're back in sort of shitty potholes. Another sort of good hairpin coming up. Oh, not bad. Yes, I think there's probably about 4k of descending left now. Not that much at all, really. But yeah, it's good. I wonder if we catch this guy. probably do. I think the chap behind me pulled across. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Nice. It is a bit more interesting when there's another rider in the picture. It's a bit more interesting. But yeah, the drafting gains were big drafting gains. So yeah, this is good fun, really good fun. High speed, close proximity. It's what riding's about, or at least a lot of what riding's about, in my opinion. I mean, a big part for me is the exploration aspect of it. I am an advocate for bike touring, and I am an advocate for long distance riding and sort of for taking the road less travelled. So this kind of riding isn't really that, but riding a nice fast bike on good roads with others to draft off and things and to pull turns, that's definitely a really enjoyable part of cycling for a lot of people, me included. Yeah, it's good. There we go. Oh, get on that wheel. Yeah, he was actually pulling through quite hard actually. I was sort of struggling to hold his wheel. But yeah, once you sort of spike your power and get on the wheel, it's fine. But yeah, it's seriously good fun. This really good fun. You got to kind of embrace the descending, I think. You get some people that kind of get a bit nervous with descending, and obviously I think, you know, you have to be, you certainly need to have some sort of risk aversion. You can't just be completely stupid, because, you know, shit does go wrong. But I think part of cycling is that, you know, you've worked hard on the uphill, so you've got to enjoy the descent, and part of that is just kind of letting go and really kind of going fast, 54 k's an hour speeding there, and 30 k an hour speed limit, but I slowed down. So this is just the outskirts of the town that was that's at the bottom of the climb, really. Sort of stopped for a quick coffee and some Haribo Crocos for the win. They seem quite popular in France, really. You don't really get them in the UK. So if you're ever out there, Crocos, go for the Crocos. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, take care out of the roads, but enjoy those descents, guys. Cheers.